Good morning. What's up, everybody? How we doing? Happy Thursday. It is what day are we on? Day 22. Day 22 of the 30-day challenge. Guys, we've got like pretty much a week left, a week's worth of days. So we're getting down to the wire. But we've got a lot of it's crazy how much we've already got done, how much we've got on the table. I've got some updates for you guys. So, where did we leave off from yesterday? Dana, or was it Diana? I've got to reconnect with her today. I wasn't able to get back in touch with her yesterday, so we want to get in touch with her this morning and continue that conversation. That was with that house where she bought it to flip it, but then her partner backed out. So we want to have that this morning. I also didn't hear back I've got to reconnect with Robert on the offer that we made the night before. And then what else happened yesterday? Oh, yesterday. So like right after our stream ended, I got a call and was like, hey, is this other property still available? We had a guy last minute who's like interested. And I'm like, dude, I'm about to cancel it today. Like, only if they're willing to put down, like if they're serious and they're ready to put down like EMD today, I could maybe get them to look at it. And he's like, yeah, they're super interested. So call up the agent. I was like, hey, can I get in it today? And that's a back and forth. Like this agent, it's one of those deals where it's like, I don't, at this point, I'm ready to walk away from it. I'm like, dude, you're just being way too difficult to work with. And you're just being argumentative and combative with me on everything. And this woman, like, she kept coming back to like the contract and EMD. And I'm like, dude, I told you from the start. I told you everything from the start. I was like, you wanted it this way. I told you, like, it doesn't make any sense. She's like, well, you can resubmit. I was like, why would I resubmit an offer? I was like, we can just have the person look at it today. If it's a fit, they'll put down EMD today, and then we just keep the same contract in place. She's like, well, I've got to start all over from the beginning because, the other contract isn't technically in contract. And I'm like, Paula, I was like, this is why I said just do the EMD at the end of the 7 days. Because her thing, she was like, well, you could go walk it and still say no, right? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that's what the contract we agreed upon. I was like, I had till the end of Friday anyways. I was like, you literally have nothing to lose. I was like, either way, I could still back up. That's why I said, let's just make the EMD deposit required at the end of the inspection period, so I don't have to waste my time because I already know it's overpriced. So I was like, this is the last chance. And I told her, I was like, based off of like what I looked at and the other people, I was like, I'd probably need to be at like maybe 280, 290. And that's being, like pretty liberal with it. And so she like reluctantly was like, then this person would be able to do 310. I'm like, yeah, like if they're able to get inside the property, and no surprises, yeah, like we'd be able to move forward at 310. I was like, and that's going to be the best offer like you'll possibly be able to get. So, and then she's like, well, that doesn't make sense. Well, how come you're saying the other person would only be able to, or you would only be able to pay like maybe 280, 290, and this person can pay 310? I was like, well, because which one is just kind of a weird question. Like, and this isn't like, this is a real estate agent who's like, she's been doing this for a while. Like, it's not like this is her first house. And this is where I'm like, okay, it doesn't really make sense to me, but I'm like, Paula, for the same reason, somebody will pay more for one house than another because it's just for whatever the reasons are, right? Maybe he's already doing a flip in this area. Maybe he sees a different potential with the property. Maybe he's able to do things cheaper than other guys. I was like, I don't know. All I know is that he's serious and he wants to go look at it. So she's like, can you get there today? I'm like, yeah. So she's like, all right, fine. She's like, only if he's able to get there today and do a deposit today. I was like, okay, great. So I call her back. She's like, let me know when he can do the walkthrough. Now it's like 11:30. So we get in touch with the buyer, and basically, as soon as I find out when they're able to get there, I call the agent. I'm like, hey, they're able to be there in like 10 minutes. And she's like, what? She's like, I gotta let the seller know. I was like, you told me we had to make this happen today. And then she's surprised that like we actually made it happen quickly. So the person walks the property, right? Short story long. Person walks the property and they're like, oh yeah, no, it needs way more work. And they were like, yeah, if we were to offer, it'd need to be in like, I think they said like 265. So one, I wasn't too happy with. So this was a buyer through Keegley. I wasn't too happy that we kind of had to jump through the hoops to get this person through, just for him to come back with an offer at 260, because like to be that far off. And the feedback, I was like, did he at least have feedback? And they're like, oh, well, he said in order to make like the other comps, they need to knock down some walls. Okay, I get that. But we're talking like a $60,000 difference between, they said they were interested at like 330. And then when they walked it, they're like, yep, we'll be at like 265. I mean, 30 to 40 grand. Or no, I'm sorry. That's way off. Why am I doing the math wrong? What, 40, 30? So yeah, no, like 70 grand off. So like as a dispo guy, bro, that's not a guy that's seriously interested. He's just trying to get inside the property. And like you need to be able to read through those lines and be like, is this guy legit or is he not? And when you have a contract to the property, these are things that you're going to have to kind of decipher also, right? Like they call me up, they're like, hey, can we get someone to walk in? I'm like, sure. Right. I'm like, look, it's already at this point. It's probably not going to happen. Like, is he legit? Is he serious? Right. And the other person that had that connection, they were like, yeah, 100%, blah, 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 blah. So you got to be careful with that, because if this deal was at like a different place, something like that could blow up the deal. Right. So anyways, but this house, like from the get-go, we kind of knew, like they were the ones that pretty much begged us to put an offer in on this place. And so reluctantly we did. And then we were like, hey, we would need to renegotiate this. But then the listing agent, I don't know, she got weird about it. So that definitely got canceled yesterday. Which I honestly, I'm happy. I didn't want to deal with that agent anymore. But I feel bad for the seller, just because, dude, she has it listed for $399. So I had a conversation, and I told you guys about the conversation I had with her. It's listed for $399 currently. The agent, from the conversation I had with her, she thinks after somebody fixes it up, which she thinks would cost 30 grand, she thinks after fixed up, it could sell for 360. It doesn't really make much sense to me there, but okay. Then on top of that, like I said, she thinks rehab would be 25 to 30 grand. Okay. I mean, that's a little on the low side for sure. Like it's going to cost more than that, but it's not like she's saying like 4 or 5 grand to fix everything up. And then on top of that, like she thinks those are the only two costs involved. So I don't know. I feel bad because it sounds like the seller's like he's the type of guy where he wants a cash offer and he wants to be done with it. And he doesn't want to deal with showings and this and that, but it's like he's dealing with an agent that's unfortunately going to continue to put him through all of this. And now the argument could be made, well, the seller, like he's the one that's saying he wants his price. I don't know. If I was an agent, like I wouldn't waste my time, because if you're dealing with a seller that wants to list their price for that, I mean, one, kind of reflects on you and your brand, right? Two, chances are he's not like, hey, I want to sell it for 400,000, and she's like, that will never happen, but okay, I'll list it for you. Like that probably wasn't the conversation that happened between them, right? So my guess, and I could be wrong, but my guess is she didn't do a great job of setting proper expectations for him, or realistic expectations. So this guy's going to have to continue to deal with whatever it is he has to deal with until eventually the listing expires, or he makes a shift somewhere and just figures it out. What I ended up doing was I ended up texting her and I just gave her a rundown, right? Like, I was like, look, I was like, based off the numbers, and I did this in the conversation when we spoke, but then I wanted to have it like spelled out in a text so that like she could literally see it in front of her. I was like, hey, I was like, below is where a realistic offer would really need to be based on the numbers that you said that we both agree on. And so I gave the sale price of 360 after fixed up. I gave a rehab. I said I used the 30K number. But in parentheses, I was like, it's really probably closer to 45, 50. Could even be more depending on what the person wants to do to it. But with the 360 sale price, I put rehab at 30K. I set a realtor fee at a 360 sale price, 6%. That's going to be like 21 grand. I said minimum, then I put minimum profit that a flipper's going to want to make is 10%, like minimum. So 35 grand there. And then hard money costs, I put 15K approximately. That's not even putting in like our fee or anything like that. Now that's also not putting in, a percentage, added to your rehab budget, right? Like a lot of guys, they'd like to add 5 or 10% to that. So like if you have a $50,000 rehab budget, they'll take 10% and add it in there, kind of just be safe. So not 10% of the purchase price, 10% of the rehab. So if the rehab's 50K, 10% of 50K is 5,000, and they'll add into the rehab budget and they'll say the rehab's 55 grand. Because things go over budget all the time. And so I kind of spelled all that out, and then I put offer prices like offer price 259 to 264, which is like based on those numbers. And she texts back, she's like, no thanks. So we gave her a thumbs up. So that's where that one left off, which is fine. That is going to happen, guys, right? So good example of like if you're working with a difficult agent, and here's kind of one thing that we talked about a lot with sales. Like it doesn't matter how good you are. Like I'm not going to be able to convince her. Like she's not even denying the things that I'm saying, right? I mean, because she can't really, because it's literally the numbers that she said. So it's not even that she's arguing with the things I'm saying, but like there's no convincing her, right? Because she doesn't want to. She's unwilling to kind of, be open to change her perspective, or like, oops, maybe I did kind of, make a mistake with setting expectations with the seller, or this or that, or maybe I misread the comp. So what? I mean, people make mistakes, guys. Like, there's nothing wrong with making a mistake, but when you make a mistake and then it's like someone shows you kind of through your own findings of like, hey, the story kind of looks a little bit different, right? And you still stay hard in that, stay firm in that. That's when it kind of becomes an issue. But there's no convincing, right? So if you guys are like, oh man, like what's the secret line, or how do you overcome this? A lot of times there is no overcoming it. It's you overcome it by kind of what we just did, right? Thanks, move on to the next one. So don't get too bent out of shape with stuff like that, guys. It's gonna happen. It's okay. On to the next deal. All right, let's get some stuff set up here so that we can start making some calls. Get my emails, get my CRM. Let me get my privy set up. Take a sip of coffee. I'm trying to think what else happened yesterday. I don't have more update just because kind of my whole afternoon was tied up yesterday for my son's birthday. Went to the aquarium. That was fun. All right, let me share my screen with you guys. First, let me present entire screen. Okay, cool. Share screen, entire window. All right, cool. We are in business. All right, so we're going to start off with looking at our privy emails. All right, looks like we've only got these two. Cool. So we'll be able to look at these quick. All right, so where is this? Eustace. All right, so it's a little bit outside our market. They don't have interior pictures. Not on here. They might be on like Redfin or something. Just posted. What are they asking? 273. Yeah, just taking a quick look here. Not going to be a fit. All these are like, yeah, the highest is 290, and that definitely looks nicer than that. Well, I mean, that doesn't look terrible, but still. So this one we're going to do failed. Not only just because off the price point, but it's again, this isn't like the ideal area that we're looking for. So, so we're not like, it has to be a real kind of home run or something really convincing for us to want to spend time on it if it's outside of our market. Or on the outskirts, not in our ideal market. All right, this looks like a flip. They just listed 249. Fruitlands. That's pretty deep out there. Yeah, kind of same thing. This is probably a flip though. Let's look at before and after. Oh yeah, look at this. Yeah, so I bought it in October. Yeah, it looks nice on the inside. So this is a flip. So we're gonna do failed on this one. Perfect. All right, cool. So went through those quick. Let's call. I want to call. Excuse me, Diana. 8-chip quartz in Kissimmee. You know what? Probably gonna have to do it over here. Let's get rid of that. All right, let's call her up. I also want to ask her how that walkthrough went yesterday. So just a real quick for you guys, just as a recap of what happened yesterday. So we called her on the phone. She bought this house with the intention to flip it. She actually bought it from a wholesaler, which is cool. She's cool with wholesalers. But so she buys the house and then she has a partner that does all the rehab and stuff. Her partner, for whatever reason, backed out and was like, yo, I can't do this project. And he was going to bring the rehab money to the table. And so she's not able to do the rehab. She's like, dude, she's already like 6 months in to like hard money costs, like 5-6 months in. So she's been paying hard money, which is expensive. She bought this. She doesn't have money to do the rehab. And she's like, I'm going to be taking a loss on this. So we're trying to see, hey, what number does she really need to be at? Because this price ain't going to work.
leave your message. Please leave your message for 32131546686. Sorry, mailbox is full.
All right, let's text her. Gotta love the full mailbox. Hey, Diana. This is Nathan Valle. We spoke yesterday morning about the house on Chip Court. I just tried calling. Is there a time this morning we can chat? Cool. Send. All right. So we're going to come back to that one. And then what else did I have? We also wanted to follow up with, let's follow up with Robert. So Robert, who I've been talking to on this property, if you guys remember. So I made the offer of $220 the other night to him. So I haven't heard back from him. Now, he might have not heard back from them yet, because it's not like he's just calling one seller. It's a family of people that have inherited the property. So I think there's like 5 of them or 6 of them, something like that, people involved in this. So they might be talking about it or going to talk about it or whatever. Or it might have been a hard no. He just never got back to me. Let's call him and find out.
Hi, this is Robert. You have reached my voicemail. I can't take your call at the moment. Please leave me a message now.
All right, so he just texted me, said, can I call you later? Yeah, no problem. Just wanted to touch base and see how the offer went over. Okay. Cool. So hopefully we'll talk to him some point soon, or he'll be able to text me and kind of answer the question for me. That's kind of what I'm hoping. All right. And then who else? So that was Diana, the Paula, that property we got all sorted out. And then, Lake Nina. That was the other one. That was the other hot one. So I also wasn't able to get in touch with this agent yesterday. Called, left voicemail, sent a text, but nada. So this property, we're gonna need to be pretty low. Remember, we comped it yesterday. These guys are like picking these up for, I think, like 175-ish. And we want to be at like, I mean, honestly, we'd love to be under 100. Right, which is going to be a steep drop, especially considering like they just dropped 25K. Like, let's see where they started at. So it went active in January for 225. Oh, okay. So, I mean, they did a big price drop, but it's been here since. Now, here's another good thing to know. He bought this for 70 grand. Sometimes this is really good information to look at. Why? Because it's gonna sometimes, now not always, sometimes people sell it for less than what they bought it for. But like, it's one thing if he bought it like a year ago. He bought this property over 20 years ago. It's going to be a hard sell for him to sell this property 20 years later for less than what he bought it for. Right? So I'm probably not going to make an offer below 69,000 because that would most likely just get him upset. Now, I've done that with sellers before. Now, sometimes you don't know, right? I'm not saying like do all this homework before you talk to a seller and make an offer. But I'm just saying, like, it's a good thing to look at kind of while you're talking to them. If you're, right about to make an offer or something, or it's a really hot lead, it's just a nice extra piece of information. I have made offers to sellers before, and to where it was less than what they bought it for. And every time that was the case, like, it was the same reaction where they're like, dude, I bought this for 20 grand more than that 30 years ago. Right? And I'm like, so 30 days will close? They're like, no. Now it's great. Now that's where that's before I got like good at sales and I knew how to properly make offers. That's the reaction that you'll get, which like kills rapport when you just kind of make blind offers, right? When you're just throwing out a low number because you've been told, just throw out super low numbers. There's a power to anchoring low, but we don't just want to like throw it out there and kind of hurt people's emotions and then break rapport. And it's like, dude, this person isn't going to take what you have seriously anyways. Not saying we don't make low offers, but we do it tactfully. All right. Well, hold on. Robert's texting me. Tell me good news, Robert. Okay, or he's just going to start typing and then stop. All right, let's call Nina. All right, not Nina, Monica. All right, Nina Drive. That's where I'm getting Nina from. 407. I think I actually have her number saved. Monica Martinez.
Hello, this is Monica.
Hey, Monica, it's Nathan. How you doing?
Hey, Nathan, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Did I catch you in the middle of something?
No, how can I help?
I was just calling back. I wanted to chat with you for a minute. We had spoke just the other day about the property on Lake Nina Drive.
Sure.
So I got to kind of take a look at it at my end. I know you kind of told me a bit about, the seller and I understand kind of everything that he's kind of gone through and some of the people you've had come and look at it. So what I'm trying to do is because when I do make an offer, I want it to kind of be able to fit everything that he's looking for. If I'm able to make the right offer, we can do, non-refundable EMD, 0-day due diligence, and anywhere from a 14 to 30-day close. There's no title issues or anything like that on this, is there?
No,
Okay.
There's not. He does have like a balance, like a very small balance because he had taken out a loan on the property several years ago. So there's just that, but there's no issues.
Okay. Okay, great. So all of that is great. I can do all of that. The big kind of question mark is I know it's listed for 200. I think last time we spoke, I think you had mentioned he'd maybe consider something around 150. I was trying to see if I thought I could get close to that, but from the other properties I'm kind of looking at, and especially with this property is kind of a really big risk. I mean, and then again, I really don't want to insult the seller, so maybe you could either give me some feedback on what you think he might feel about it, or if you think he'd even consider it. But I would really need to be like somewhere between like 90,000 and like maybe like 100, maybe like 105. But I would really need to be like right at that 100 mark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't know that he'd be willing to kind of go for that. I would have to have a discussion with him to even see if that's something that's, he'd be willing to go that low. Because I know last time we spoke, he wasn't even wanting to do like the 150.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to talk to him because he's like, well, I'll just keep the property. He can't keep the property. He didn't have the means to like maintain it and even fix it up and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to talk some sense into him at this point because he really wants to get rid of it, but sellers can be a little bit difficult.
No, I totally understand.
Sometimes. So, but I don't know if you want to. I honestly, I don't know that he would go for that. I'm not thinking he will. So I'll have to get back to you on that. But I'll be meeting with him over the weekend, probably Sunday, and I can run it by him just what he thinks and stuff like that. But I don't know if he's gonna go
to kind of help you out, would you prefer if I kind of was able to kind of send you something of, hey, here's what you can present to him for like a hard written offer, or would you prefer just to kind of give him a verbal and sort of see what he says there?
If you want to go ahead and send me a written offer, that definitely helps. Like I said, I don't know if he's gonna go for that number, but if for whatever reason he does decide to consider it, then we have something that we can kind of move forward with.
Okay, I'll tell you what, since so what I'll do is let me put together exactly kind of price and terms and stuff for you, and then what I can do is I can send it to you in a text, because like I said, I'm unrepresented, so you could represent me in this and get both sides. What I'll do is I'll just send you kind of price, terms, and whatnot, and then you could just put that together, present it to him, and we'll kind of see what he says and go from there.
Okay.
And if it is, and if he's like yes, I'd be willing to move forward on that. Then what I'll do is right before we sign, I'll have one of my guys go and walk it just to confirm, and then we can sign that same day or the next day.
Okay. Send me the information. Like I said, I'll present it to him. And then we'll see how he wants to move forward. Okay.
And the one other thing I will put on there, that's if I were to be looking at purchasing it. The other option is I know you said you were really not looking to wholesale it. Totally understand. I do network and work with a lot of guys that can typically pay more than me or some partners that I work closer with. The other option is if he's really stuck on kind of getting a higher price. I mean, they might be able to come up, to something closer to that 150, but I know I wouldn't be able to necessarily pay that. But if he was open to it and you were open to it, I mean, I could put it in front of my guys, with sort of like a 5 days for them to look at it. And one or two things, either great, that it's a good fit for them and, we can move forward and close it quick. And, everyone's happy. And then if not, it's no harm, no foul. I'll at least be able to give you some really good feedback of some really, really competitive guys in this market as far as what they would be able to pay. And what they're kind of seeing. Just a thought.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah. Send me over what you have, and then we'll go from there. If that doesn't work, then I'll let you know. You know, if he's interested in having it. I mean, he wants it in front of as many eyes as possible. And we do have other people offering, more. It's just really we're trying to find the right buyer, somebody that's motivated and ready to move forward with doing what the home takes to kind of get it up to par. So send me the information you have, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, perfect. Sounds like a plan, Monica.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. You too. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. So that's cool. So what happened there? So a lot of things. Oh, but first we just got a missed call from Diana. Let's call her up. Just had a missed call from Diana.
Hello.
Hey, Diana?
Yes.
Hi, it's Nathan. Sorry I missed your call.
Don't worry. Okay.
It's fine. Yeah, so I do you remember where we left off from our conversation yesterday?
Yes, I'm going to tell you what is my numbers for the house. If I have, I can take little less on the price.
Yeah, just trying to see kind of what price, you really need to be at with the property, and just trying to see if it's something that I might be able to do.
Yes, look, I take the numbers, and I can take nothing because when they is the price we have it. When I sell, I going to pay the company, the title company, and I need to pay the loan. I'm only going to have 3,000 less only.
Okay.
Only, but my number when I buy the house and I pay the mortgage and everything, I'm going to lose 25,000. But I can put this in the price, but I'm going to lose 25 because I never take the number. I never see when you pay, do this, do that, and you don't have the numbers. That is bad. I learning a lot in this case now because, oh my God, if the person don't put money in the transaction, the person don't worry if they say I don't want it, I don't continue because they never put money. The only person to miss here is me.
Yeah, that's tough.
And I know is difficult for buy because if you're going to buy to repair and sell is really, really tight.
Let me ask you this. Would you be open to, so I work with some really, really good quality guys. They do a lot of flips and whatnot. What if I were to connect you with someone that I think would be a really good fit for you, and instead of you selling it and losing a bunch of money, what if they were able to partner with you? They finished the project and then kind of sold it at the finished fixed up end, and then maybe you would even make, instead of losing a bunch of money, maybe you would end up at least either breaking even or even making a little bit. Is that something that you'd be open to?
I don't know. I need to think it because I have a person to have the money to repair, but I don't want the person put the money to repair. In the last 3 weeks, first I put in the market again. I send different person to do the estimate, and all person to do the estimate is more up than the estimate I have with the person is going to do with me. Because I tell you the numbers I have. I have the roof 12,000.
Yeah.
I have the repair for 40,000, 45. I don't remember. I need to see.
Yeah.
And the other person give me the estimate. They give me 50,000 and the roof 60. You know.
Okay.
And I try to see it, but the numbers. When now the person give me more high the price for the repair. And when I put the repair and I put the price for the house to sell, we're going to have the same. Pay everything for the person to do the repair, pay the loan, pay everything, and only is 10,000. And I need to give the 10,000 to the person to give the money for repair. And if pass something in the market, he going to have less 10,000 to, and you know the person to put the money. The person put the money every time minimum 50,000 because they going to put money, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't want the person put the money and later they can take out the money or whatever. I don't want to have more stress with this house.
Right. Okay.
I'm really honest for that.
Yeah.
Yesterday, a lot of people go to see the house. A lot of people want to buy the house at the same price or less the price.
Mm-hmm.
One person called me. I sold the house in the past.
Yeah.
To that person, we work together in the other house I have in Van Hill, and they buy the house and they repair. I don't know if they keep it or what. I don't know if they sell or what, keep it. I don't know. They tell me they're going to send me an offer. I worked with him in the past, and if they send me an offer, the full price, because I know him, I'm going to give the house because I don't want to continue pay or nobody put money here.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you think he'll actually be able to make it up to the full price?
I think so, yes. Because the last time the other house I got, they give me the full price. And because I think so, they buy and repair and keep it. And it's a company, they have a lot of money they need to put in. They need to investment the money, you know.
Oh, okay. Is it like one of the like hedge fund companies?
I don't know, but the last time they don't, because I know a lot of company, they send an offer, say they're going to do the estimate they're going to do, and later you have a price, and later they take out 20,000, 25,000, you know.
Yeah.
I know that other company because I work with that other company, receive an offer with a client, and we accept they say you need to do the roof, you need to do this, and I pay you the full price. If not, you receive that. And I work with that. And they do 1 month and a half, something like that, to close. I know that person. But this other company, no, they go there, is 2 days or 3 days to inspection, and they normally, the price they send to you, that is the price they're going to pay because they see the house and everything.
Is it like an offer pad company or like Open Door? Is it one of those guys?
No. It's a company in the last time. The company name is a Spectrum, something like that. And they buy one house. I know because we work with the tile. They do the tile company. And I don't have each of the last time we closed in 2 weeks, and they don't take out the money for the price I have in the house, you know.
Okay.
And I work and
yeah.
I do with him one deal. I know they don't going to tell me now. I know it's not that price. I going to take out 10,000, 20,000, you know. Because the last time we talk and we do everything, they tell me they're going to see the house, and later they're going to tell me what is going on. And if they say something to me, I think so I'm going to, because I work in the past with him. I'm honest with you, you know?
Yeah. No, I appreciate you being transparent with me. one kind of last question. So I guess we'll kind of wait and see what they have to say, because I know they're kind of your first choice right now. One other solution that I could possibly bring to the table. What if would you be open to, I know you don't really want to partner with someone. You just kind of want to be done with it. What if we were able to talk with the hard money lender and we were able to pretty much kind of transfer the loan that's in place, to where if we were to buy the property, you know, we would pretty much take over the loan and all the payments, so that you wouldn't be on the hook for any of it, and we would be able to do that. Is that something you think you'd be open to, or not at all?
Let me see what tell me this person. If this person come into something, I going to lose more money because I can pay the loan and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We can see and talk to do partner and see what's going on. But let me see if I can take out. And if we go to partner, I know we need to do the number because I know they don't going to be margin for I have more money. Only to pay everything and only to try to sell the house, and the person try to have something for put the money to repair and everything. And I need to know how much for they do the repair they want to have back, you know?
Yeah, we would only, like these other options that I'm kind of bringing up. Yeah, obviously we would only consider them if it helped you and made the situation better for you, and allowed us to kind of purchase the property. Obviously, yeah, if it would cause you to lose more money or cost more, of course, yeah, we wouldn't look at any of those options. But I think, yeah, either one of those two, either I think partnering and finishing the job, I think that could be a really good option. Or the other one, I think, if you want to just totally be done with this house, now it really comes down to if your hard money lender would be open to it and what they would be willing to consider.
Let me see that. I'm going to talk to him too. Okay.
Okay, yeah, and just and let me know kind of what that would look like for you and what they would need, and if that's something they would consider.
Okay.
When should we speak again?
Let me put 65. Let me put your name and the phone number here, because I don't save your. I going now to save number. Yes.
Do you get text messages at this number?
Yes, I have it. That's it. I'm going to. Okay, perfect. I'm going to put here, and I let you know today if I receive something. If I don't receive something, I'm going to talk to you to sit down and put everything fine. Okay.
Okay, guys. So you're gonna wait to see if you hear back from the other company today?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, yeah. Just keep me posted. Let me know, and honestly, I hope the other company is able to come back with a really good offer, and help you out. But if it's not able to be something that's a good fit for you, hey, no worries. We still have a bunch of options that we can explore to help you out.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
Thanks so much, Diana.
Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
All right. So, got a little confused. I had a little bit of trouble kind of understanding her with part of it. So for this property, so where is she at? She wants to be done with it, right? She doesn't. And so we talked about a few creative options. We threw it out there in like a really light and easy way, to where we were just like, hey, hey, would you consider something like this, right? We're not getting technical with any of it. We're just using like really simple terms. Hey, would you consider partner? I'm not saying like, hey, would you want to do a blah, blah, blah agreement with, this type of split? Just, are you open to the idea of this, right? Ideally, we want to phrase it, are you totally against something like this? Are you against something like that? Ideally, that's how you want to phrase it, but that's getting a little technical. So we just want to ask her, are you open to it? And the reason why we do it that way is exactly for her initial reaction, right? She was like, I really don't want to, because of blah, 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 right? I mean, guy, because the other thing is, we're saying, hey, do you want to go into a partnership? As we're talking to her only because of a partnership going really bad for her, right? So it's kind of like, if you go up to somebody and you're like, hey, I know that you just got broken up with like 20 minutes ago, and that was like a train wreck of a relationship that destroyed you. But do you want to start dating? Right? That's pretty much what we're asking her. Right? So we want to be gentle with how we ask. So she's like, yeah, not really what I want to do. Now, she's like, look, I have this other company that's looking at it. Honestly, I think if they even come back with an offer that's a little bit less, I think she'll probably go with that. With that company, she's talking about another company she's done business with. She has a lot of rapport with them. She wants to go with them. Like, that's her first choice by far. Like, if they can get somewhat competitive to this price, I think she's going to take it. The other thing was for her rock bottom number. She pretty much was like, yo, this is my rock bottom number. Which, that's where I kind of like, it got confusing a little bit with the conversation. I had a hard time understanding like kind of all the stuff she was talking about. But basically what she's saying is like, after all the fees, and everything, like, this is her break even, or like her lowest number, which doesn't really help us out much. And then lastly, the last option I gave to her, so she really doesn't want a partner. So what I did was, the last time I mentioned was basically, if anyone picked up on it, we're pretty much being like, yo, we could take over your mortgage, right? Like, kind of like a subject to idea, except this is with a hard money lender. Now, I know a lot of us, if you watch a bunch of stuff on, like, if you're familiar with buying a property subject to, or just like the general idea of it, you typically don't, like, you 100% can do that, but you just like don't go out of your way to let the bank know. For a hard money loan, now here's the other thing. I really, for either one of these, for the partnership or for if we take over the hard money, like, and here's the funny thing with creative finance, like, I've talked about the idea to them, but I honestly have no idea what that looks like on paper, right? As far as like, oh, well, how do we put this together in writing, blah, blah, blah. I'd have to figure that out, right? I don't know like all the technical side of it. That is not my expertise by any means, right? And it gets really technical. So, Dexter, missed call. Oh, my phone is on do not disturb. That's why these calls aren't coming through. I'm calling back. All right, he called me 4 minutes ago. What was I saying? So it's like, Nate, oh my gosh, well, how are you even able to bring that up? Well, we're just asking, like, hey, are you even open to this, right? We don't need to get into the technical side like this early on. Like, we just need to figure out, if she's like, well, what would that look like? I would just say, I honestly don't know. There's a lot of different ways we can structure it. It really depends on, is it something you're even, you're actually open to? If she comes back to us, right, and she's like, well, it really depends on this other offer. Cool. Not even going to waste my time doing anything more on the creative side. if she comes back to us tomorrow and she's like, yeah, their other offer, the most they could offer me was like 205, and there's no way that's going to work. She's like, I spoke with my hard money lender and he said, whatever. Hard money lenders are a bit different, right? A hard money lender, like it could be someone that she knows. It's typically, you know, more of like a personal hands-on thing. And like they'll be way more open to working with, because they don't want the house back typically, right? And they understand, like they lend on investment properties, right? So they're open to having conversations with investors. So it's not just like a bank loan. It's like, here's the rules. We follow the rules. Like, nah, if you can't make the payments, like we can't just transfer this, blah, blah, blah. A hard money lender, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. But I would think most hard money lenders would be far more open to a conversation of working with someone else. You know, hey, okay, yeah, we can transfer, because they still, at the end of it, like they want to get paid. They want this to go smoothly, right? They don't want missed payments. They don't want to take this house, especially this house. Like it's not like this is a paint and carpet house. This house needs a full rehab. They don't want this kind of house back. So, so there's a lot of options. But first we got to figure out what those options are, and then we can find people where it's like, hey, how do I set this up on paper? How do we make this happen? But baby steps first. Dexter, that's not really gonna work, man. Is Beachman still available? No, not really. A little late on that one. I want to send that back out below 250. No, that's not gonna work. All right. What is okay? So Robert texted us. At the moment, no decision has been made. I wasn't able to reach her until last night, and I'm supposed to have a real conversation with her later today, and she'll tell me what she decides. I'll be in touch with you as soon as I know anything. Cool. So that's good news, I would say. Hold on, text back. Okay, thanks for the update. Cool. So this house, we're gonna reconnect with Diana tomorrow. Now the other thing is, like, we're also gonna have to relook at the numbers. If she's even open to the partnership or us taking over the hard money loan, like we're gonna have to relook at ARV, right? And throw in her comp. Like, if it isn't an obvious deal, right? Like with us taking it over subject to, I shouldn't even say subject to, I don't know what it would be. Like it still needs to be a deal for whoever's going to be buying it. And just because it's like, oh, well, the hard money's in place, like, you know, they can pay more. Not necessarily. You know, it kind of depends on a number of things. And the hard money guy, I mean, he's going to want something up front. Like if he's taking on a new person and he's even open to it, like to protect himself, he's going to need some type of, you know, financial commitment, right? He's going to want some type of money down. So we'll see. So we still got to check to see if this would even be a deal, but you know, a lot depends on what the balance is on that loan, what those terms look like, and all that stuff. So we're going to wait till tomorrow before we spend too much more time on this. Now the other one, this one on East Ave in Mount Dora. So this house, so this is the one Robert the agent just texted me on. So kind of no news is good news, right? So we made an offer. I don't know which one he presented. I don't know if he presented the option of like 210 or 220 or what that looks like. But he did present one of those numbers to the people, and at the moment, no decision has been made. He's going to be having a more serious conversation with them in person later today. That's really good, right? So when our offer is like 70 grand less than what they have it listed at, and it's not a hard no, that's really good. Even if it still comes back with a no, it means they seriously considered it, which means it might be a no today, but it might not be a no 2 weeks from now or 4 weeks from now, right? And that's where our follow-up gets really important. And then what was the other thing we had to do? We had to text Monica. So let's bring Monica's property back up. Lake Nina Drive. Oh, I'm back. In Orlando, sip some water. Okay. So we got to text her a price on this. So we know, where are the numbers that I have? Okay. So it's about 1,900 square feet. Let's bring up a calculator here for a second. 1,900 square feet. Let's just assume it's a gut job. So let's do $60 per square foot. We're just doing a really rough estimate of rehab. Times 1914, right? That's the square footage right here. Dang, boy, that is an expensive rehab. And then on top of it, let's add the, so she got a quote of $7K for the teardown and $5K to have all the debris removed. So we're going to add 12 grand to that number. So 126K rehab. Now here's the one thing. What is this? So this is the shack that needs to get torn down, I think. I just have a hard time understanding this property. You know, it really doesn't matter. Let's just go with this number. For ARV, I'm going to pick probably the lowest one. For sure. Let's go to settings. We're going to do all. Let's look at most recent. The most recent is December. Not a big fan of that, but 260s. They're selling these up here. Oh, these are the investor ones. Let's look at all of them. Okay, here we go. That's why I didn't see any. Okay. We're only looking at the investor tab. Price, that's not really a real price. And ours is a 1952. So again, they were buying these at 178. And he sold it for 285. Now here's the thing. If someone's doing 100K rehab, I mean 125K rehab, they're not gonna be they're not just gonna, and where ARV, like if the rehab is half the price of the house, it's like, it's a big rehab, right? They're gonna want they're gonna want to make more than just 10% on if it's gonna sell on the back end for like maybe 300,000, they're like, if they're spending $126,000 in rehab, they're gonna want to make more than 30 grand. So let's take a look. Let's do price high to low. There. So like 198, so 200,000 is on the low end. Now, totally different neighborhood. And it looks nice. Now that sold last summer. How about this? Dang. Let's take a look at this. See, it's hard to get. So this sold for 225. Now it definitely need work. Like this was, it looks like it was like a foreclosure or something maybe. And where is that one? That one's like right over here. Not a comp at all, but we're just trying to get an idea. I'm gonna say ARVs maybe like 100,000. Or I'm sorry, not 100,000. Maybe honestly, I'm not crazy about using 300,000 as an ARV. But now here's the other thing. Honestly, that rehab probably isn't going to cost 126 grand. I think it would probably be closer to like 80-ish. So let's, for the sake of just getting a general idea, let's say it could sell for 300 on the back end. And here's the other thing. If they're doing like an 80K-ish, you know, that end of, like, you got to think of what the end result's going to look like. Like, it's going to look really nice if they spend that much. So 300, let's do our 0.92, right? We're taking out 6% for agent fees, 2% for closing costs. Let's subtract, let's just say 85 grand for rehab. I would expect, I mean, on this project, the flipper's going to want to make like, I'm gonna say they need to be at like at least, I'm gonna say at least like a 50K profit in order to do this big of a project on a house like this. But I'm gonna actually say 60. So, and again, if we're using 300 as back end, 10% is 30, 20%, 60 grand, right? So kind of double the minimum. So it puts us at 131. Now, the one nice thing is hard money costs would be like really cheap, right? Because if you're buying the property at, let's just say 100 grand, you know, your monthly payments and the points you got to pay up front is going to be pretty cheap. The other thing, though, is they might be a little bit more expensive just because this property is such trash, right? Because as a lender, this is a much riskier property than, like, let's say this one right here, right? Because if they had to get this thing back, so you might even need like a true cash buyer, right? There might be guys who might just be like, dude, I won't even touch it. Like, I won't lend you on this. So yeah, I would say we'd need to be at like, I think 100 grand is probably right around where someone would need to be. So let's type this up. So we're gonna put in our, so we're gonna text this to Monica, and she's gonna write it up and present it. Now, the other thing with that conversation, because we had a phone call and I didn't get to finish. When we spoke with Monica, did you see how I also kind of planted the seed of let me like wholesale it? Now, we'd probably be looking to double close this, right? Or, you know, we could ask if we could assign it at the end, whatever the case may be. So the offer that we're making would be a cash offer. However, I plan to see it as like, hey, look, I could maybe get you more money if you let me try to wholesale this for you. And I was like, you could give me a couple days, right? And that way, if she says, yeah, now here's the other thing. Here's why it's so good. I can say, because like if I'm just like looking to wholesale and assign it, excuse me, I can just blast it out. I mean, not blast it out, but I can send it to the people that will take a real good look at it and people that have networks of buyers, and we can get a lot more eyes on the property, and we probably could get more than 100 grand for this, right? Like we get it for 100 grand. I definitely think we could sell it for over 100. I don't know how much over, but that's where the wholesaling comes into play, to where I can be like, look, I can offer, 97,000 if it were, if I were to buy it. And I would still have somebody go and walk it. But if we were to wholesale it, I might be able to say, hey, we might be able to get you up to 130,000 or maybe 150, right? Maybe someone has a totally different idea for how to rehab, how to use the property, whatever the case may be. But the good thing is like she would be on board and like we're on the same team and she knows everything that's going on, all because of how we positioned it from the start, right? And it's not this weird, awkward thing. All right, so the question is, do I want to say 100? So ideally, I'd really like to say 97,000. But I think the seller would be just super pissed if he even saw it like just under 100. But ideally, I would want to be 97. I would say 97.5 is what I would want my offer to read. So price, we're going to do 101. I'll do 101,500. Why am I doing that? Because if he gets an offer that says like 100,000, it literally just looks like I put zero effort into this property and I'm just chopping their list price in half. And I'm just throwing out like just a stupid lowball number. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm just adding $1,500 to it to make it look like I put more thought. Because we did actually put some thought into it. Like we're not just throwing out 100. It's like I really think that's where, someone would need to be close to that. 0 days due diligence. 5K EMD. Non-refundable. Why are we saying this? Because if he agrees to these terms verbally, right? And I also set the expectations for Monica. I'm like, hey, if he were to say yes to this, it doesn't mean I'm signing today. It means, okay, cool. Then let me send out one of my guys, and then we can say yes to something like this. 101.5, 0 days due diligence, 5K MD, non-refundable. Close within 30 days. Now, if I really wanted to make it good, like if you're buying properties yourself, use the EMD. Like this is a perfect time to where you can make the EMD number really powerful. And to you, it makes no difference. Like if you're going to walk it and you're going to commit to it with 0 days due diligence either way, like instead of doing 5K non-refundable, like it's powerful when you're like, dude, we can do a 25,000 non-refundable EMD. That, and the funny thing is like the price is still the same, right? You're still at the same purchase price, right? It's a home run deal for you. Let's just say if it's you kind of putting down your money. And to the seller, that even if there's other higher offers, to them, they're like, yo, that guy's legit. And like, we're certain if we say yes to that one, it's a done deal. Like, you can spend that money today. And there's a lot of power in that. What do we say? So 1015 is our price. 0 days due diligence, 5K EMD. And we're gonna say non-refundable. Right now, it's kind of redundant, right? 0 days due diligence, 5K EMD. Obviously, it's going to be non-refundable if we're doing 0 days due diligence, but we're reiterating that so that hopefully she communicates this to the seller of like, hey, this is what this means, right? So that he's understanding everything that we're saying, right? It's like, I was going to use like a car analogy, but it just wouldn't really work. But you guys get the idea. Close within 30 days. What else do we want? Oh, we're going to let them know. As is, right? So here's also what we're doing. Buying as is. Not going to ask for, any repairs or concessions. I'll just say any repairs. So in parentheses, we're going to put close within 30 days, parentheses, or, whenever works best for him. All right. Hi, Monica. It was nice chatting this morning. Now, the other thing is, ideally, I wanted to be able to send. Where was the other one? There was 2 that was bought for like 170. Maybe it was when we clicked on this one, the comps. What the sell for on the back end? Maybe it was the comps for this one. Because ideally what I want to do is I also want to send her like, hey, I'm not just making this up. Like, here's 2 comps that are nice, and they bought them at this price, right? Because she talked about how 150 was a hard sell. So maybe I can give her 1 or 2 comps and then also explain to her like, hey, I saw these. Maybe they'll help you, kind of explain to your seller, right? Coaching her a little bit. Show them these and be like, look, these were bought by an investor in the 170 range. And they look like, this is what they looked like when they bought it at 170. And this is what yours looks like. Right? Two different things. Let's look here. Come on. Was it under contract? Is that it? No, but I'm probably also going to use this. So this dude bought it for 1. Honestly, man, 100 is going to be a hard sell. 100K could be a hard sell. I think I'm actually going to switch it to 97. After this comp, I think I might switch it to 97 because so it's under contract for 250, which isn't. Now, here's the other thing, right? They didn't go crazy with the rehab. So here's a great example of, guys, not every rehab is, now they put their money in the places where it was going to count the most for them. Yeah, I'm actually going to switch my offer. Because if they bought this at 130, like, here's the other thing is, they bought it cheaper, but they did a cheaper rehab, but they also are selling at probably a cheaper price. Now, the other thing is this is also a 3-1. Everything else has been 3-2s. I think ours is a 3-2. And it has no garage. But neither does ours. Ours doesn't have a garage. I do think ours has 2 bathrooms, though. Okay. Here are a few comps to help kind of show here are a few comps to maybe help the seller understand how we came to our price. Now the hard thing is I don't know if she's really going to be able to see it before and after. So I'm going to say that in some way, shape, or form in my text to her, and then I'm going to give her these addresses. These properties listed below were purchased in significantly better condition. Were originally purchased in significantly better condition. Better condition and were originally purchased in significantly better condition in nicer lots / area before they were flipped, before they were fixed up. I hope this helps, and I hope the seller can understand where we're coming from. I hope this helps, and I hope the seller can understand that I feel for him. Let's just say I hope this helps. All right. And then what? So we're going to put this one. This is 5280 80 Rose Avenue. Bought at, we're going to say 130. And then where's the one, this one? Then we're going to put, where's the address? 5468, 5468 Vance Ave. And then we're going to put bought at What did they purchase this at? Where's before and after? 178, bought at 178. And that I know there was one more. There was another house that was like, there's two we were looking at. Was it the 315 one? So this house, wasn't a flip, but I thought, let's go back to our original house. All right, so this is our original house. Let's go back to looking at the comps. So we already looked at this one. Was it this one? Oh, maybe it was one of the actives. Nah, so this was bought for 210. Where is it? I could have sworn it was. Okay. I think this is what I was looking for. Previous sale. Yes. Okay. Nash, might give me pushback on this because it was in 2019, but that's okay. I'm gonna just leave that there for her. Honestly, she isn't probably gonna care so much. Like, she's honestly, and if you look at the conversation we had with her, she's not against us, right? Like, she gets it. She just wants this thing to close. So she's not, I could be wrong, but she's probably not gonna nitpick us on the comps. What I'm doing is, I think more than anything, I think she'll be thankful that I was able to just send her some addresses with some numbers that she could show to her seller. And I don't think she cares so much like, oh, if it's comped a certain way, or, well, this one had this, or this one that had that, or like, well, this one was this time during the market. Because what she wants is, like, she's looking for help to try to bring this seller to a reality in order to kind of help him out, which is ultimately getting the situation, solved and getting his property sold. So that's why we're going to even send this one to her, even though it sold like 2 years ago. What is this address? Now, the one thing, though, is every single one of these properties, they're flips, right? Somebody bought it, and then they rehabbed it. Lake Nina Drive. But what was it again? 152. 152. Now, the other thing is, like, she could be like, dude, but that was back in 2019. Yeah. I don't think she would. What was I going to say? 152.5. Okay. So let's kind of copy this over. So she's chatting this morning. Below are the price and terms that you can put in a written offer to the seller. And then I'm even going to say to her, like, my goal is not to offend him. It's just a very risky property to work with. I'm not going to say that. You know what? Yeah, we're going to take that out. All right. Then at the bottom, here are a few comps to maybe help the seller understand how we came to our offer price. These properties listed below were originally purchased in significantly better condition and had nicer lots / locations / location before they were fixed up. I hope this helps. Okay. We're going to copy this big old text. Copy. Where is Monica? Monica. Here she is. Copy, paste. All right, then we want to call some new people. Cool. Price 96.5, 0 days due diligence, 5K EMD, not refundable, close within 30 days, or whenever works best for him. Buying as is, not going to ask for any repairs. I'm not going to say and we'll pay closing costs. I'm just gonna leave that there. All right. All right, sent. Cool. Moving on. So let's go back to some of these. We called, we spoke with Jeff. So we got to mark this as green. All right. Let's take a look at this one. Now these we kind of added. We were definitely slow to calling this list because we got really sidetracked with some of the stuff we had going on, which is good. But we want to be way more on top of it. And that's why, because this thing's already sold. I think this was an REO anyways. And I remember I called this dude. I think he was like a newer agent. And like he never picked up and never called back. So red. All right, let's take a look at this one. So again, this list, we're like, Nate, what is this list? So from all the properties we were looking at and all the properties that come into our email, these were ones that passed our soft vets. Now this is under contract. Multiple offers received, deadline to submit. Okay, so we're gonna fail this, or we'll just put it as red. Boom. They're already under contract. They have multiple offers. Not a distressed situation. On this one, okay, now we're talking. All right, so we got a 2-1. I don't like that. Cash only. I like that. This is pretty. All right, this dude's gonna love to get a phone call. He's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, nobody's called me on this thing." All right, so block home, that's good. Potential rental opportunity, quarter acre. What's the neighborhood? All right, so it's not Pine Hills, so that's good. Oh wait, no, but was it South Orange? Was that the other one that's not a great area? I can't remember. Car showing will not be permitted. Okay, so they don't do walkthroughs until there's a contract signed and in place. That works great for me. I don't want to see it until I have that anyways, right? So let's look at some comps. So it got listed at 139. Okay, well, so far I like where all of this is at. Ours is in 1954. So ours is right here. These all right over here. So I really like these comps. Just number wise, like it's okay. We're right here in the ballpark. So let's look at this one. So it was a 2-1. They made it into, because when we look at the before and after, this is one of the awesome things about Privy. So I'm able to see they bought it as a 2-1, right? They paid $130,000 with this as a 2-1, and they converted it to a 3-1, right? They added a bedroom to it. The other nice thing that I like is this has pretty much the same square footage as ours. So it's not like this one was 1,100 square feet, right, or 1,200 square feet, and ours was 850, and they added an extra bedroom because it had way more square footage. No, it's the exact same. They were just able to make it work. Is that all mulch? Huh. It's interesting. What I want to look at those before and after. Dang, so that actually looked nice when they bought it. Now they did it nice on the inside. All right, so I would definitely say like this could be an ARV, right? So 230, you know, if we look at, I just got like a nice backyard, or well, it could be nice. This thing needs some love though. It needs some love. Let's look at some more of these comps. Oh, also when? So this sold for 230. Okay, in December. I like that. We like that a lot. Now, they probably paid 130 for it like last summer. That would be my guess. So that doesn't really help us a ton. So in February, we got a 2-1. This sold for 121. Dang. Let's take a look at it. There's no pictures. No pictures to help us out. Just in December. This one sold for 220. Is that over here? Looking nice. Wait, what? This one is what, a 3,100 square, so it's a little bit bigger. And it is a 3-bedroom. So they bought it last summer. Let's call this dude up. So I would love to get this under contract for like 100. It still could be a hard no, because like this one I really like. The condition could be the deal killer. But let's call him up. Or her up. Regina. 352-636-4539.
This Regina.
Hey Regina, this is Nathan. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I was calling. I saw a listing of yours on Indiana Street.
That one had 18 plus offers about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. What? I guess
It's been submitted into the court. We're just waiting court approval.
Oh, got it. So you guys already have pretty much the contract selected and everything?
We do.
Okay. Is there any reason that you think it wouldn't go through or that it might fall through?
Well, we have one the same price cash right behind it, so.
Okay, man. So you guys are all set, ready to go.
We are. We're just trying to get this thing done.
Yeah, I hear. Well, I hope that works out for you. Regina, well, since I have you on the phone, I won't waste your time on this one. But let me ask you, do you happen to have any others, maybe similar to this one, or that could also use a little bit of work that, maybe they're not listed yet?
I do have some that could use some work that are not listed. They'll be going up in the next week or two, but they're in like Mascot and somewhere else. And one's over in Eustis.
Okay, I don't do a ton there.
They're a higher price range. They're not this price range.
Yeah, when you say higher, are you talking like in the like mid high twos, or are you talking more like mid high threes?
One is going to be mid high twos, and one is going to be mid high threes, probably maybe early lower threes. It just depends.
Is there any chance I could take a look at them and possibly get you an offer before they list?
There is a possibility in the next week. You'll have to text me and say Mascot home, and then I could get it out there and you could see it that way.
Okay. Well, I mean, even if you're just able to send me the address, I mean, I don't need to walk it. I can just kind of take a look at it if there's any pictures or anything, and I mean, I can pretty much give you a number just from that.
Oh, well, you can text me then. I'm driving, and then I'll send you an address.
All right. Sounds like a plan, Regina. I'll shoot you a text right when we hop off here.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Boom. Look at that. So this one's a no. But what do we got? We got 2 pocket listings. Right? She was a little hesitant, like, do I want to send it to him? She was like, all right. She's like, fine, just text me. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to shoot her a text and be like, hey, shoot me over those pocket. Now, the one thing we didn't want to do is we didn't want to, she was like, oh, they'll be getting listed like, I don't know, she said like in a week or 2. We don't want to be like, oh, okay, I'll keep an eye out for it. Especially if she just told us like it's property like this, they need some work, whatever the case may be. We want to try and get ahead of all of that because ideally we would love to do it before it gets listed. That's what we're like. The interaction that just happened, like that's the whole purpose of us connecting with these agents and creating relationships with them. Because what just happened between me and Regina, I want this to be like a regular, hey, every time send it to me before you list it. That's what we're going for. So, and I didn't even get into, oh, I'm unrepresented, blah, blah, blah. What she said, she's willing to send me the address. So from there, I'll take a look at the properties and then, we can talk about offer prices. And then that's when I'll be like, oh, hey, by the way, like I'm unrepresented, anything you send me, blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, oh, cool. Let's do some deals. Be like, exactly. All right. So Regina. Hi, Regina. This is Nathan Valle. Spoke on the phone about 2 properties. I'm going to say 2 pocket listings. 2 pocket listings. We just spoke on the phone about 2 pocket listings that you have that could use some work. If you could, please send over the addresses and I'll let you know if I can make a competitive offer. And why am I also saying if I can make a competitive offer? Because I'm not saying, oh, you know, I'll take a look and I'll get back to you, and I'll make you an offer. She's probably not going to want to send me these houses, and then I just send her like a super lowball offer. She'll probably get a little upset about it. Not saying we can't do that, right? Like, we got to make the offer at whatever price we need to make it at. But I'm letting her know I'm only going to be making you an offer if I'm competitive. So she gosh, I can't talk. She translates that as, okay, cool. He knows his stuff. He's not just going to be wasting my time. And so we want to kind of reassure her of that by saying, if I can make a competitive offer. If I can't, I won't waste your time. Now, Nate, what do you do if you can't make a competitive offer? What if we're 100K below? I'm still going to call her up and have that conversation, right? But I'm not going to text her and be like, oh, yeah, here's my offer. Or I'm going to call her up and have the same conversation that you guys have been seeing me have this whole time, right? So we're like, hey, you know, here's what I'm looking at. Is there anything I'm missing? You know, we're going to ask a bit more about the property. And then we're kind of going to throw out a feeler of like, look, I probably need to be a bit closer. You know, I probably need to be around here. But I don't want to make an offer that would insult, you know, the seller or you, right? And then let her tell us what the best fit is. Now, guys, there are times where the seller doesn't always know best, right? Or I'm sorry, the agent doesn't always know best. And sometimes, like, even if the agent's like, there's no way that's going to work, this would kind of be a good fit for the property with that agent Paula. That was like kind of annoying. That's the type of situation where, you know, I might still just make a written offer anyways, because you might be like, oh, he'll never take, or like in a few weeks I would, because the agency would be like, no, there's no way. But the seller might actually be at a point to where he's willing to accept something like that. And so you got to make the offer anyways and see what decision they make. I'll let you know if I can make a competitive offer. All right, Howard G, this is Nathan Valle. We just spoke on the phone about 2 pocket listings that you have that could use some work. If you could, please send over the addresses, and I'll let you know if I can make a competitive offer. Thanks. All right, let me save her number in my phone. Regina Rodriguez. Cool. And then RE Agents, parentheses, Orlando. Boom, saved. All right. And then we're also going to throw, because it sounds like she works with these, like, these are her properties that she works with. So we definitely want to add her to our CRM. Regina Rodriguez. Some of you guys might be wondering, Nate, like, why do you put the first and last name in Podio here? I'm sure there's somebody where they're like, yo, that's been driving me crazy this whole time. Well, whoever you are, I apologize. I'll be able to show you in just a second why I do that. Let's put her company in here. Let's make this green. Company, property address. Let's copy this one. Listing, follow-up date. Let's say Thursday. Touch base with her tomorrow in case we haven't heard back from her. Works with a lot of fixer-upper houses. Bev. Cash offers in place. Now, so that's another thing that's really interesting to learn. She said they had cash offers at full asking in place, which I'm not gonna lie is kind of surprising. So, kind of, it's good to learn the market. Like as we're talking to people, we're learning more and more every day. And so ideally, like it takes time to really hone in, like, yeah, this is what we think someone could, like to the penny, this is what we could buy this at. And this is what we could sell it for. Property above already has a number of cash offers in place. Follow up. Today's date is 3-2-23. She had 2 pocket listings that need work in Mascot and Eustis. Just going to text you the addresses. Cool. Save. All right. So why do I put both names here? So in Podio, if I were to search up a name, if I had put her first name here and their last name separately, this wouldn't pop up. Like it would just pop up Regina, and then every single other Regina would pop up. So I put them both in the same name box so that when I type a name into the search bar, it pops up the like first and last name. And then I can select which one it is from there. So if I have like a Regina Rodriguez, a Regina Valle, a Regina whatever, I can at least see all the last names and then select from there. Just a Podio tip for you guys. And if there's like a workaround to that where it's like, hey, Nate, you can still separate the names. You just got to make this shift and then you can see it the way you want to see it. I'm not that good at Podio. I don't know how to do that. So this is where this has worked for me so far. But I'm not opposed to making changes. All right. Cool. So that's this one. Do we have time? Well, we got time for one more. One more quick call. Let's throw this in here. Orlando. All right, list 31 days. What's the MLS details say? A remodeled kitchen and a converted garage. Well, one, there's no pictures of the interior, so that might have something to do with it. So ours is a 3-2, just under 1,400 square feet, built 1990. It's in Orlando. I might send this to the hedge fund. A 1-1. But same square footage. So what does this tell me? Like if you see something weird like that, chances are this is probably like something here is wrong, right? Maybe it just got, the information got entered wrong, but it's it's saying it's a 1-bed, a 1-bath, 1,400 square feet, sold for $195. Something doesn't really add up there. Could be the case, but there's probably a little something more to this story that we don't know about. 3-2, 1,350, sold for $230. I want to know what's going on with the inside of this house. Let me just see if there's any pictures. Oops, what I do? Any pictures on Redfin that, for whatever reason, didn't pop up in Privy. Nope. So they just have the 4 photos. All right. Let's call this person up. One, you know what? Let's make the call, and then I'll hopefully remember to explain to you guys. Remind me to explain to you guys how specifically why I say I'm looking at this as an investment opportunity instead of saying, oh, I'm an investor, right? Or, oh, I'm looking at this as a fix and flip. Remind me to do that after this call. All right, 407 765 5730.
Hello?
Hey, Jackie?
Yeah, yes.
Hey, this is Nathan. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well, Nathan. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Can't complain. I was calling about a listing I saw you had here on 43rd Street.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just calling to see if you had a minute to chat about it, but it sounds like it might have caught you in the middle of something.
I'm in my office, so it's always in the middle of something.
Yeah, I hear you.
How can I help?
Yeah, well, I was looking at this property as a potential investment opportunity. I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about it. I know one thing when I was looking at it here, it looked like there's only a few pictures of the exterior of the property. I was wondering, yeah, if you could kind of tell me a little bit about, yeah, the property, maybe what the inside's like, and I guess, you know, anything in particular that you think might be important for me to know.
In regards to investment, is that an investment as into fix and flip or to purchase and rent?
Probably at this one, probably more for a rental.
Okay. I listed the property. I didn't take pictures of the interior out of respect of the tenants. They did not want it, so I was fine.
Okay.
However, I was confident enough in the property because of the condition. I felt that. I felt very confident in the condition, and whoever chooses to purchase that property and they want to rent it out, they will be able to maybe change the carpet and rent it right away. I think the tenants have done a great job, and that was my confidence behind putting it there. I can tell you more so, in addition to that, there was an offer on the property, and they did their inspection as well. Through that property as well, and nothing about the condition of the property came up as a rebuttal inspection. I think that particular buyer was just only trying to get the offer price back to their original ask price, and the seller didn't agree. But on their repair addendum, it did not have anything to do with the overall condition of the property. So ultimately, for me, I think it speaks volume as far as how they felt about the condition.
Okay.
And moving forward.
Got it. So I guess what, yeah, I guess what kind of, so that other offer, what they said yes to originally wasn't able to be a fit for them, or?
So they came in with their initial offer, which is strong, and then we countered offer, and they agreed to the counter. And then after the inspection period, they went back to their initial.
Oh, okay. So they said they would need to be back at their initial price?
Correct. And it wasn't a big difference. However, it's just throughout, for me, being in this industry for a little bit, I knew that was going to happen from the very beginning.
Right.
And I told her, I know how this always plays out when working with someone who's looking for an investment property. They reached back out just yesterday, and they went up in their offer. I have not submitted that request to the seller as a response yet.
Got it. Okay. And what, are they looking at it as a rental also?
Yes, they were purchasing it solely for rental.
Okay. So the interior, okay, so the interior, excuse me. So there is carpet. You said, normally that would probably need to get replaced. For the tents that are there, are they like all set? Like, is it gonna be delivered vacant at close?
Their lease is over March 31st, so it depends on how fast you're closing.
Okay. Got it. And it sounds like the tents that are there are great, no issues, nothing like that.
Correct. However, the challenge is that there are in-laws.
Oh, okay.
To the homeowner, and it's hard to kind of enforce.
Yeah, man, I feel for the seller.
Yeah,
yeah, it's got to be a little bit of a tough situation.
Got it. Too many family members involved.
Got it. Okay. Okay, got it. Now for a house like this, I wouldn't really count, the in-laws are staying there. I don't know what their rent would be, but for a house like this in this area, what do you think market rent would be?
Right now it's $1,300 is what they're paying.
Mm-hmm.
With the converted 4-bedroom. Me personally, if I can spitball it, I would probably say 15 at tops. Just because of location. I don't see pushing higher than that. 15, 50, anywhere in the 15 should be fine. I think the moment you push 1,600,
okay,
I think you'll push a lot of renters out.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Got it. I know. So it's a 3-2 right now. You're saying it would work to be it could be converted to a 4-2.
Oh, they converted the garage to and it so.
Right. I'm sorry. Yes, you have it right here in the notes. Got it. Okay, cool. Well, I'll tell you what. I know you. So yeah, it sounds like you've already had an offer on the table. That was a really good fit. And it sounds like they're still interested and are coming back. I know it's listed here for $249. I don't know exactly what my offer would be right now, but I do know I probably would not be able to get up to asking price. And of course, look, my number one goal is I'm not looking to make an offer that would insult the sellers or you or kind of waste your time. I know you've already got the other people interested and on the table and are just waiting to submit their offer. I'll tell you what, I'll just kind of put this on hold, and if for whatever reason the other offer doesn't work out or circumstances change or whatever the case may be, feel free to hang on to my number. Would always love to reconnect and we can always revisit the conversation then.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, and hey, real quick, I know this one, it sounds like you already got lined up with someone, but would you happen to have any others? Maybe they're not listed or something that could maybe use a little bit of work, a little bit of love.
No, me personally, I'm completely out of the industry. I'm a broker now.
Oh, cool.
It happens to be a client, one of my first real estate clients whose husband passed away.
Okay.
And they asked me to kind of help them sell. Like, this is one of the few situations where I would come out.
Got it.
And help someone sell. But yes, it's challenging, unfortunately. But normally I'm not practicing real estate at all.
Got it. Okay, no problem. Well, I hope this all works out for you. I hope that other offer, is able to be a good fit and you guys make it to close and it works out well for everyone. And otherwise, hey, it's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
That sounds good. Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. So this house, I would definitely need to be less than $249. They've got like those other people that had the offer on the table. they came back and he said, you know, they came up to pretty much the asking price. Plus, they already have kind of a rapport built with them, you know, from the stuff they went through before. So I would find it incredibly rare if they didn't, you know, go with that offer and then everybody make it to close. Initially, I thought the person might just be trying to wholesale it, but since they came back and like made another offer, I think it's like a legit buyer or someone looking to buy it for either themselves or as a rental, whatever. Now, the one thing I said in the beginning is why when I call. So it's funny that the words he used. So it's like, hey, I'm looking at this as a potential investment opportunity. Why do I personally, I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, I'm looking to fix and flip it. Yeah, I'm looking to, you know, buy it as a flip. Yeah, I'm an investor. I really don't like using those terms. Like if I'm talking to an agent or if I'm talking to a seller, especially when talking to a seller, the words like, and you can hear it in people's tones. Like if you tell a seller, oh yeah, I'm looking at this as a fix and flip, what they hear is like, yo, you're trying to make a buck off me. Right now, the reality is it's like, dude, like, yeah, like, duh, you're going to get paid for like taking the risk and all the work and this and that. But for the seller, the person on the other end of the conversation is like, they translate it, they perceive it as like, yo, you're just going to try to, you know, buy this from me super low so that you can make a fat paycheck. That's what a lot of people hear. That's what I've found in my experience when I've used terms like that before. So, and the funny thing is like, you know, nobody like, if it's a rental property, they don't really perceive it that way. Like it's more of like, oh, okay, this is like a long-term play. Like fix and flip is like, yo, you're trying to make a quick buck off of me. That's what I found in my experience. So even with the agent, with him, if I'd say, oh yeah, I'm looking at this as like a flip or as a wholesale deal, he immediately he's just be like, yeah, this isn't the right deal for you. Right? So I could be looking at it as a flip, but I'm going to say potentially, you know, as a, you know, potentially as a rental or not really sure yet, you know, still kind of looking at it. Sort of depends on the property, right? I might say along those lines. And then when you're talking with sellers, like when you identify, oh, I'm an investor. Again, it's they translate it, they tend to perceive it the same way as when you say, oh, I'm looking at this as a fix and flip, right? They're like, oh, you're an investor, right? Like, oh, you're the big bad investor, like trying to make money off me. Or like, yes, guys, we know that's not the case, but that's how they perceive it. So we want to use different language, right? Hey, I'm looking at this as a potential. I don't like using the word investment at all. If I'm talking directly to the seller, I would, you know, like say, oh, you know, one, I usually don't say anything along the lines of what I'm looking to do with it. And then if they do ask, I'm usually like, you know, really not sure yet. You know, and then I'll say things like, you know, we definitely, you know, we'd love to like really make it a beautiful home and do all this stuff to it. Right. Rather than like, yeah, we think we could put 40 grand into it and make, you know, should be able to make 30 on the back end, right? We're not going to say stuff like that. But that's why I say investment opportunity. So you guys try it out. Try it out when you're talking to your own sellers, your own agents, whoever. Try the switch, right? Test it out and see what works better for you. You know, some of you guys might just be like, dude, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. It just feels not me, like super weird whenever I say it. Then don't use it. Like there's certain phrases, certain things to where I know some people love it, but for whatever reason, I'm like, yeah, that's just, I don't know. I've tried it like a million times and like, it's not me. It's not like how I would say it. And so it sounds bad when I say it. So I pivot and I'll try something different. And I'm like, oh, this actually works really well. This is a lot smoother for me. But you got to test it out to know. So test it out, guys. Try and do that today. I'd love to hear you guys if use that language, chat with some people today and see if you like that feedback a little bit better. But otherwise, that is it. We went a little over. Guys, I will be back tomorrow Friday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll be back here. We'll be making more calls, making more offers. I'll hopefully have some good updates for you guys. And until then, guys, have an awesome rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, gang.